When your baby smiles at a stranger, but not at you, do you actually know what that means? It feels strange, maybe even a little personal. Like, why them? You're the one who feeds them, holds them, takes care of them. And yet, they smile at someone they've never seen before. But behind that moment, there's something most people completely misunderstand. It's not random, it's not preference, and it's definitely not rejection. Let's start with what that reaction really means. Have you ever thought, do they like strangers more than me? It sounds ridiculous, but in that moment, it feels real. Most people assume it's simple. They just like that person. But here's what's actually happening. Your baby isn't choosing who they like more. They're reacting to something new. To a baby's brain, novelty is powerful. Anything unfamiliar stands out. New faces, new voices, new expressions. And when something is new, their brain becomes curious. That smile? It's not about love, it's about attention. Think about that for a second. They're not choosing someone else over you. They're responding to something they haven't figured out yet. So why don't they react the same way to you? Here's what research shows. A study from the University of London found that babies respond differently to familiar and unfamiliar faces. Familiar faces equals comfort. Unfamiliar faces equals curiosity. But here's what most people don't realize. Comfort doesn't always look exciting. When your baby looks at you, their brain is calm, predictable, safe. But when they see a stranger, their brain activates. It starts analyzing, trying to understand, and sometimes that shows up as a smile, not because they feel safer, but because their brain is engaged. Now, here's where it gets more interesting. Smiling isn't just an emotion, it's communication. Even babies use it as a signal. Behavioral scientists have observed that babies smile to create connection, to test reactions, to see what happens next. So when a baby smiles at a stranger, they're not just being cute, they're asking a question. How will you respond to me? Think about that. That smile is an experiment. They are learning how people behave. Here's something most people completely miss. You don't get the same reaction because you're already understood. To your baby, you are predictable. They know your face, your voice, your reactions. There's no mystery. And because of that, they don't need to test you the same way. Think about that for a second. You're not less important, you're more certain. And certainty feels quiet. This behavior isn't random. It comes from something deeper. In early human development, understanding people meant survival. Who is safe? Who responds? Who can be trusted? Babies had to learn this quickly. So their brains evolved to pay attention to new individuals, to study them, to engage, and smiling became one of the tools, a way to create interaction without risk. This is what most people never realize. When your baby doesn't react strongly to you, that's not distance, that's trust, because they don't need to figure you out. They already know you're safe, you respond, you stay, and that changes their behavior. They don't perform, they don't test, they relax. Think about that. The reason they smile at strangers is because they're unsure. The reason they don't react the same way to you is because they're not. At some point, this behavior shifts. Babies start to prefer familiar faces more strongly. Strangers become less interesting, sometimes even scary. And this is where it all flips. The same baby who smiled at everyone starts reaching only for you, because now they understand the difference between safe and unknown. So when your baby smiles at a stranger, but not at you, do you see what that really means? It's not rejection, it's not preference, it's curiosity, it's learning, it's their brain trying to understand the world. And you're not the mystery, you're the safe place. That's not a loss. That's something much deeper. Because when a baby stops testing you, it means they've already made a decision. You are where they feel secure. And that quiet reaction, it was never small, and it was never a bad sign. If anything, It means you matter more than you think.